Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Clarity Conference.
We're back.
Woo!
Go back.
Sorry for the delay, everyone, but thank you for sticking around this long. But for our 10th episode of the Clarity Conference, a little something special that Big Joe cooked up himself, actually, which was the ethics and morality of artificial intelligence. Was it?
Well, don't give me all the credit. All right.
you
Actually,
deserve-
It was
you
team
know,
effort.
you
It was team
deserve the
effort.
credit.
No, but you know what? To be honest, the original idea was brought up by Little Joe at the end of the table over there, the sexy man in the end.
No, but it was a team effort. Alright, so we all pitched in on it.
Yeah,
and wrote some
yeah.
stuff.
We all make ideas every single week. We just trade in.
Yeah,
But that's pretty
That's
much
it.
how
And
it
you
is.
might have noticed we got Leonardo da Vinci's. I don't know what the actual name is, but we got
Something about the human diagram or some shit. I don't know.
something like that.
Look, it's
It's
cool.
what a human is.
Yeah,
so-
look, it relates to philosophy somehow, so we put it up. So
Yeah, it looks nice.
and we've got a nice little pop line up there too. But
Yeah, little nature.
stay tuned because soon we are changing the whole setup pretty much. So it's going to be more of like a couch casual setting. Got a few chairs, nice coffee table. Don't want to spoil the rest of it, but
New
yeah,
camera angles, everything.
sofa. It's nice.
Just to make everything seem more relaxed, chilling,
Yeah.
and just vibe.
Because to be honest, I hate this setup right now. Look at the cords going across the bloody table.
Yeah.
Look at shit it looks, guys. Come on.
So yeah, we'll make it out.
We do minimum wage. What do you expect?
We're making it out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But either
I
way,
couldn't say the rest of that, but
for episode 10, if you're tuning in now, you can be sure to watch other episodes of our podcast on Spotify, Amazon, Audible, YouTube. Am I forgetting anything
look,
else?
all the major streaming platforms. Go
Yeah.
there, or just all the streaming platforms pretty much. We've got Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music,
100%.
Spotify, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
That
it's
pretty much sums it up.
everything.
Hey.
If this is your first episode, thank you for clicking on the video or the podcast, and I hope you enjoy this upcoming episode. But if you want to find out other content that we make, be sure to check out Instagram and our TikTok accounts.
All right. So let's start with the definition of morality. So the definition is basically principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior.
Yeah.
Now, we've done a little bit of background research here. So we've got like the four main principles of morality. So we've got autonomy, which addresses the concept of independence, allowing freedom of choice and action. Number two is non-maleficence, not causing harm to others.
Quick question: is your mic going on? Because I don't see
It is, yeah. It's just underneath here. Yeah. See? Yeah, I know, because like it's
okay.
swapped. Yeah, for some reason. But now, then we got beneficence, to do good, to be proactive, and to prevent harm when possible. And number four is justice, treating equals equally and unequals unequally, but in proportion to their relevant differences. Now that is a direct quote from Kitchener in 1984. He was a practitioner, and he used these principles for his clients, basically to have, I guess, just to try and avoid bias and to, I guess, obtain the most objective solution.
I just want to say, Kitchener's a cold last name.
If
I
her-
just want to say that. That's pretty sick.
yeah, honestly, if his middle name's Hell's Kitchen,
Gordon
badass.
Ramsay stole the
Hell's
idea and
Kitchener.
everything.
Damn. Okay, but while that is the objective definition, so subjectively doing of right and wrong just feels more natural, I guess.
What do you mean?
You can define it, like label it and everything, but I think we can all safe to say that if you
Wait a minute, you said this well, I just had deja vu.
yeah.
You said the exact same that you're like, you said something about at the end of the day we can have I just went back to like 3 episodes ago.
What's to do a VAR? Have to review it.
Bring up the replay.
Yeah. But no, either way, I think anyone can safe to say that if they see something that they think looks bad, for example, you go out and then you see someone get bashed, you're gonna be thinking to yourself, oh, that seems bad. That shouldn't be happening in a perfect normal world. Violence, hate, bickering, gossip.
Yeah.
Unless it's juicy gossip, then that's fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, throw label it, objectify it, all that. I just call it as it is. Good, right, wrong. It changes if you give it enough time. 200 years ago, we would have had a very different sense of morality and ethical opinions, just because of our time, culture, and just the way that things function at the time.
Like we've said, basically, like, sorry to interrupt, but like we've said, across pretty much all of the topics, our perception of just philosophy and just like philosophical concepts is all based on how we were brought up, and well, just nature and nurture, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, obviously, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, generally, like, we have quite similar opinions on various different matters, and especially on what is right and wrong, because we've been brought up in a similar culture
manner, yeah.
And we've also got, like, we've all got Italian backgrounds, so we've all got those traditional values and morals already instilled in all of us from generations before, so we have a similar understanding of right and wrong and just morality in general. So yeah, like I said, it just depends on where you're brought up and your nature, and yeah. So,
because as Matthew was also saying before, with how 200 years ago it would have been different. Think about medieval times; it was perceived as moral to torture someone if they did something bad.
Oh
So
yeah.
if we were to do that now, that's like,
No, I
it's
think
frowned upon. It's like death sentence. You know, in some countries it's illegal.
I think my
It's frowned upon.
favorite method of torture was they would give like prisoners and that like a hot iron rod that was in like a smithery, and they say, "Oh, if your hands burn while touching this, you're lying. What's your name? You're lying already." But no, it's
Bring it back.
it's so bad. Because yeah, 200 years ago there wouldn't be equal rights, women's right, a lot of rights actually that should have been since from the get-go, but it is what it is. We live in a world that's at least a lot more, how do I say, enjoyable for our modern day audience. Yeah.
We live in a society.
Society.
I just had to drop that real quick.
Yeah. No, you had to.
In regards to us talking about morality, so humans, I would say most humans are able to, you know, have a good sense of morality. Obviously, there's a few exceptions in regards to, you know, mental illnesses or disorders, unfortunately. But now that brings us to artificial intelligence.
Ooh, I remember my year 12 research proposal on this. This is
oh,
gonna
wait,
be fun.
someone just said in the chat, "Hi, do you like Goku?" That is from NK3U.
Yeah, Goku's a king. He is one of the most powerful characters of all time in anything.
Superman could, you know.
No way.
Yeah, okay, okay.
See, look, I don't watch much anime, so I'll let these guys take
I
it.
haven't watched Dragon Ball. I just know it's like...
We have Goku and unstoppable force versus Superman, who is an unmovable object.
Ah, true.
It's just one of those arguments where there's no defined winner.
I can settle on that.
It's who writes the characters that wins.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, artificial intelligence and how it is. I remember my research proposal on this, and this was one hell of a headache to try and research.
Oh, did you find it?
I sadly could not. It has been deleted off the internet.
No.
Yeah. But either way, from memory, my research proposal was about analyzing artificial intelligence behavior and what the general public of 2-3 years ago of people's thoughts of what artificial intelligence was. If it was in fact a advanced piece of technology as we see in movies, how would people view it, understand it, and interact with it? Whether it would be a militaristic nature, hospitality, retail. We already got some retail stores in Europe that already have artificial intelligence. You got self-serving checkout and such. It's just each person has an own idea or image of what artificial intelligence is capable of. You got people who have Siris and they ask Siri a question, and after the Siri does a task, be like, find me the closest restaurant and such. Some people will even say, "Oh, thank you, Siri." Okay, for a second, I thought my laptop was going to go bad. And And you
Sorry,
are
yes.
Big Joe, and this is Little Joe. Just a clarification, because someone asked.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I am
Yep.
Matthew. Hello, everyone. But yeah, continue, guys.
So yeah, like I don't know, there was something about how I don't know who was going under a lawsuit, one big company about how was it Google?
Google.
Like,
How
yeah,
it's
it was
listening
Google.
to you.
Yeah, how it's
Google,
always like
Google.
listening to you even though you're not actually using the Google Assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and how it's like picking up. So basically what it's doing is it's tailoring advertisements and content on your phone based off of your general conversations with other people and just whatever it picks up. So basically it's always monitoring your voice
Yep.
and you know what you're doing on your phone and who you're talking to and this and that to direct certain content to your phone, so then like you're more likely to buy
it, yeah, increase
it
chances.
and use the Google
sales.
service. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Facebook was also caught in that scandalous behavior.
Yeah, actually, a lot of Google and
a lot of
Facebook.
companies. I
So-
guarantee Apple, Samsung, Sony. Hey,
So
wait, who's Apple? Steve Jobs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I mean he's probably
Well,
dead.
yes, rest in
more,
peace.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rip.
Walt Disney. Fuck, he knows at this point.
um,
Hey, he's frozen underneath the Pirates of the Caribbean rides. What are you on about?
In regards to artificial intelligence, I also think it's interesting, even just in recent months, I mean like 2 or 3, the advancements have been crazy. Like, we're all familiar with ChatGPT. I'm sure everyone on the internet knows about it. OpenAI or ChatGPT,
Mm.
you know?
do you know what ChatGPT is, Matthew? It's like it's just
I've
a
heard
bot,
of it in
like-
passing, but I don't think I've ever
So
interacted
pretty
with
much, it is artificial intelligence. You can tell it to do you can ask it questions. You can tell it to do certain things. You can tell it to write a Python script for you, and it'll do it in seconds. People are exploiting it for school. Like, you can tell it to write a 750-word paragraph on something, and it does it excellently. So, yeah, like, I just wanted to mention that. It's very interesting with all the... And now, like, AI art, the image generation,
Yeah, that's mental.
unreal.
Like it's crazy. Like the whole trend of like
I tried that, and I look good as, like, you know, a very 9 out of 10 like Kurt Russell model.
I don't
But-
know who that is.
Oh,
who's Kurt Russell?
Yeah, I don't know.
the actor. Oh my God, get some culture, guys.
I don't know who that is.
Bro, he's definitely like a low budget
Like
actor.
an obscure actor in like one movie.
Yeah, no,
Or
wait.
from like some anime that
Yeah, like a voice actor.
Kurt Russell
I don't know.
from Guardians of the Galaxy
Guardians of
2.
the Galaxy? Yeah, okay,
Yeah, but
sorry.
who does he play?
But him when
He's
he
the
was
dad of-
younger.
He's the dad of what's his name?
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Chris what's his name?
Pratt.
Fucking-
Chris Pratt.
Pratt,
There's a lot of
yeah.
Chris's in Marvel.
Really?
Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, Chris Pine. I can go on and on.
Oh yeah, Chris Hemsworth as well.
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what was the trail of thoughts before we went off.
AI art generation.
That's it. Honestly, that's just one level of advancement that we're gonna get, because ever since we invented computer software power,
We discovered computers, just
Yeah.
dug them up.
it was always there.
No, I'm kidding. I always leap on Matthew's little error.
Nah. Every time
You know what I mean?
when we invent, discover, code, whatever how you want to say it, the level of advancement as the curve begins to rapidly quadruple, double, even, how we go from stones, rocks, airplanes, computers, software, satellites, and eventually it's going to get to a certain point where the curve just goes to a straight line upwards.
Legit. It is exponential growth.
Yeah, it's truly scary how much innovation can happen just from 1 or 2 inventions, just from like 5 years apart.
Exactly, because we keep thinking we've hit like boundaries and everything. But as I said, legit a month ago, the smartest AI we've ever had has been created. And they've now had to put limits on it because people were asking it how to create bombs and like how to just do highly illegal things. And it was telling it in perfect detail.
Wait a minute.
What?
Alright, sorry, just one thing.
Yeah.
Luke, Wait, Germany, how's it been? How you been? It's me, Luca. Which Luca? It can't be. It can't be.
Yeah, no, it can't. I don't think
Which
so.
Luca? Yeah. While he answers that, sorry. Continue. What were you saying?
Oh yeah, no, I just said how they've had to, the company OpenAI had to put limitations and restrictions on what the AI can answer because people were asking it how to create bombs and things like that, and it would describe it perfectly. Like, so it's just interesting to see how the AI knows
Amazing.
exactly. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's scary. I mean,
But it's like it actually creates like very like it actually
on
creates
it's
a
perfect.
very accurate.
Like, it will show
it's
you.
still-
is this free?
Yeah,
It's free,
you
it's
can-
free.
It's a website.
Was
Like, look, if we go there right now,
Are you
might
signed
actually-
in?
no.
Oh, I have it on my
Ah,
laptop.
Yeah,
But like,
it's all good.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
just go on for the advancement and how much innovation affects the rapid growth of technology. I mean, airplanes. The White brothers who invented like the first airplane, that was only in 1903.
bro,
Yeah, so
I don't know.
that's
Was that recent?
so that's like a little over than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And then from the first airplane came computers, technology, iPhones, satellites, rockets, spaceships, Mars, the Mars landing, all of that within 100 years.
That is insane to think.
Yeah. So
Wow.
think what will happen in another 50 years even.
And like you said-
that is the same amount of technology growth that we've had in that little over 100 years is going to happen more in 50
Yeah,
or
yeah, exactly.
25 even.
I would say 25.
Especially
yeah.
because of like World War One and World War Two, the advancements in like heart. I mean, we got major advancement in heart surgery because of World War Two. Because of like field medics would constantly like try and save people and all that. But yeah, what you were saying?
Oh no, yeah, no, you pretty much summed it up well. Like, so yeah, a little over the 100 years, we got, that much progress. But now, as you said before, with each advancement now, it makes future advancements much faster and efficient
And easier
it
to
just
attain.
it's
Yeah.
exponential. Like, eventually, the bell curve will just go straight up, nearly.
I mean, the smartest man will be the dumbest person compared to the smartest AI.
Yeah. Oh, they'll get wiped.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah, I mean,
wiped.
it's because they're programmed to basically teach themselves things.
A self-learning
Every day,
machine.
yeah,
and they
and
don't get
also-
fatigued to
And
anything.
yeah, no, exactly. And also, they know
It depends. It
they
depends.
they know
Are they
everything.
top to bottom level AIs or bottom to top level AIs?
What are you saying?
So I got to look up the definitions, but there's two types of AIs. I think top to bottom are AIs where we code the actual information into AIs themselves, so they learn what we want them to learn. While bottom to top AIs learn from themselves to try and gain a general sense of information, so they don't specialize. I could easily be wrong about that.
I mean, look it up. Look it up on the definition.
I double check now.
I'll try and get it up here so then the viewers can actually see it. So what was it? Can you just tell me?
Oh, I could
What
be.
you said, bottom to top.
No, I could be wrong.
Bottom to top, artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bottom up AIs try to build structures that emulates the human brain and is based on models of interactions with environments instead of symbolic description of these environments used in the top-down variant. There we go. Top-down, bottom-up.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's actually get this up as a reaction type thing. All right, so
Let's go.
let's just move this over here and put this here.
Hey, slay. And then what was it? Top-down. Oh, got the same website.
There you go.
Beautiful.
First one that popped up.
And then
Oh,
and yeah. So basically, the difference is one you teach, one learns from its general reaction. That's the difference between
Right.
the two.
yep. Okay,
And each
so
have their own unique flaws and benefits, and such. I think Siri would be a top-down AI, I believe, actually.
Yeah. Based on what I think
be-
each one is, I'm pretty sure
So
it
it
would be
says
top.
artificial intelligence can be broken down into several types of systems, such as analytical AI, super intelligence, just to name a few. With that being, and there's several blah blah blah. There's
Hmm.
ideally a superintelligence AI system will comprise the characteristics of a AGI and narrow AI. This would mean that a superintelligent AI system will contain cognitive, emotional, social intelligence, and also be self-aware.
See, ChatGPT is self-aware, by the way.
Oh, really?
It speaks to itself and it says I. So it understands that
Not
it
we?
isn't. No, it says I. So it understands it's an AI and it
Yeah.
knows its limitations as well. So, like, if you ask it, like, I forgot, because I wrote, like, oh, do you have feelings or are you alive? And then I was like, oh, I'm not alive, although I don't know, it was something crazy, but yeah. And I would just like to pose the question to us all. Should artificial intelligence evolve to have no human bias? Because although amazing as ChatGPT is,
Define a human bias. What do you mean?
okay,
by that?
yeah. So as amazing as ChatGPT is, it does seem to have like leftist political bias in regards to, if you ask it some specific questions, it's kind of leaning towards left, politically, which is pretty interesting.
So do you think there's like a political judgment like system that is put into place?
See, I don't know, because I'm not sure if that's the AI entirely speaking for itself or if that is the bias from the programmers.
Well, I mean, you got to say though, like the information that it has been exposed to has created that judgment for itself.
Yeah, but that's
Hmm.
what they've exposed it to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why
I think
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
no
saying.
matter
So, like,
what,
do we think?
true. Yeah, so
Do we,
true,
like, and also, do we think that the internet is comprised of mostly left-wing
100%.
people?
100%.
That's what I'm saying as well. So that's
Certainly.
why.
I mean, the internet is comprised of many things: left, right, center.
But most.
I mean,
Bro,
you go.
bro,
you
where
go,
are you going with this?
You go on Twitter, you find some neo Yahtzee type of stuff on there.
Yeah,
you do
but-
find crazy stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, but also like at the same time, most of the stuff on the internet is all left-wing based.
even Disney. Have you seen Disney?
Yeah.
I'll pause there.
No, go on.
No, there's what's it called? Hold on, let me try and
We want to
find
hear
it.
about this.
I'm deeply concerned. But either
should
way,
be.
speaking of artificial intelligence and such,
Wait, just. I think you're better.
why he
Find
finds
something?
that.
Oh yeah.
You know,
okay.
I'm just trying to find
Oh,
the,
yeah, cool,
the
cool.
movie.
How would you feel if AI becomes a practical advancement in the real world? That's the real question. If it has a constant reminder that it exists, such as billboards, employees.
Wait, what was the
restaurants.
original question?
How would you feel if artificial intelligence had a consistent appearance in everyday society?
I mean, it does.
Yes, but as in like workers, hospitality,
Oh,
restaurants.
so you mean just more of a prominent existence?
Yes,
so
sorry,
more
that's
like
the-
it's replacing what humans do
Yeah.
at a fundamental basis, like
How would you feel
working
about
and
that?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like definitely that's a bit worrying for sure. That's like, I guess like in order to don't go completely AI with workers or just in the workforce, I feel
So-
like there has to be some
Amazon
other.
got some AIs on there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean that the chat bots have been like around for ages though.
Not just that, the hardware and like storehouses. They got like, have you seen those videos of the storehouses in Amazon where they got like whole columns of items and everything stacked, and they got these little Roomba robots just like doing like full on test tricks, like just moving around
Yeah.
the hardware and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so crazy how like efficient it is.
Yeah, so
And
like,
then the only difference is human workers just have to go up to the thing, grab it, wrap it, scan it, put it in a box. That's it.
pretty cool.
See, and
I
that's-
mean that's cool, but like I feel like at the end of the day, like if you're gonna replace all workers with AI, there's got to be some other way to, I guess, keep like the economy running, because like how are people supposed to like earn money without
Exactly.
with their jobs or the jobs being taken by AI?
Because that's always been interesting with AI in regards to, you know, jobs being taken and everything. But as you were saying, I guess that can also bring in more jobs as at the same time in regards to maintaining and developing. But it begs the question, is that really worth it in the end?
I mean, we're going into a day and age where technology is becoming a fundament staple in our society. And at that point, to simply try and slow down innovation or reject it, or some alternative even, at that point, we're just slowing down, I reckon, ourselves. Because yes, will we lose jobs if artificial intelligence workers does become a thing? But will we get new jobs from those innovations?
True. That is a
because
very valid point.
when cars and that became a thing, they replaced horses in carriages and that. And like people who would raise and groom the horses and teach them and like they lost their jobs, but then so many people such as taxi drivers and automobiles and car manufacturer companies became so prominent. So it's simply just a matter of we're not losing jobs, we're just trading them over. We're replacing one job occupation for another.
That is actually a very valid point. I saw something on that like a while ago about how like who's gonna be like fixing the robots when they like stuff up, or like who's gonna be working in the maintenance. And
I mean, eventually themselves, but yeah,
that's true. Yeah. So like well that kind of like contradicts that.
Yeah, in regard,
yeah.
Because I guess in enough time, AIs would be able to develop themselves. They
They'll be able
probably
to, like,
can
fix
now. I
themselves.
won't lie, they probably could now. I feel like.
And you know, that kind of worries me because it's like, well, why do they need humans anymore then at that point?
Exactly. Like,
And then if they're so self-aware, if the goal, like it says here, the top-down approach is to build them a super intelligent AI that is self-aware, conscious, emotional, then how come I lost my train of thought, but no, how come, like,
and I think I could pick it up. I think,
go on.
I'm going to try and
take
guess what
over.
you're trying to say.
Take over.
If they're so self-aware and want to like advance themselves and build the best version of themselves, why would humans be needed? It would be seen as an obstacle.
Right.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you put me back on the right track here. But
I mean,
basically because they're self-aware. Basically because they're self-aware, they'll realize that they don't need humans anymore, and they'll, you know what I mean?
Those are hypotheticals, but the thing is, we create them, the first ones, and we can build safeguards or codes or principles in place, because the Australian government, particularly the Department of Industry, Science and Resources, they basically have a series of documents and they have 8 principles of which they would install in these
AI ethics.
Principles, and they would have these principles installed within these AIs to make sure that they don't go rogue, harmful, or any of the sorts. And these principles I'll go in order: human, societal, and environmental well-being, human central values, fairness, privacy, protection, and security, reliability and safety, transparency and explanatory, consistency and accountability. And with these different principles and such coded at the start of them, it just goes for at least a baseline, some level of safety and security.
Well, you know, there's sorry, you go on.
No, you go.
I was gonna say about like with regards to like the principles and stuff, we could talk about Detroit Become Human as a very
That is crazy. I
funny-
was just about to say that. Like dead.
Bro,
dead
I thought our
arse.
minds are like
I
in
was
sync,
about
man.
to say that.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
you can say that, but
Deviancy.
Like, we can say
that's a whole level of a different discussion. At that point, it's not AI; it's just androids. At that
That
point,
No,
is
that's
AI.
AI though.
it is AI, but
That's artificial intelligence.
the thing is, to get from level to AI to then jump to a level of android where they have functioning bodies that can resemble
that's what they're
humans.
creating right now.
Yeah, but to have that maintained and constantly out there in the like natural world, it's going to be a very difficult job to that level of Detroit Become Human to become a reality.
I don't know, man.
Although,
I feel like
even
it's closer
the
than we think.
physicality part aside, let's say it's just a computer software.
yeah,
Do
just
you still think deviancy could occur?
100%. It can
Yeah,
definitely
that's the
occur.
thing.
That's
It's
the
like-
interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
bro,
it-
Marcus became RA9. And freed the androids. That's crazy.
I mean, it's
That's
not
crazy.
I mean, another way that you can say for the deviancy are just bugs and viruses. Okay, because bugs and viruses happen constantly for our everyday computers. So why can't it happen for one of software
Yeah, true.
that is or isn't connected to the internet? Okay, do you think AI is more safer if it's connected to an external hardware or software like the internet, or if it has its own computer internalized system?
Okay.
Which one would you rather
Are you saying
trust?
safer?
Which one would you think is safer?
I would say internalized system. So it has its own repository that it retrieves information from. Although I would say it would probably be less efficient because it can't source the internet. But it would be safer.
I actually think the internalized system that it cuts off from the internet is more dangerous.
Okay, interesting. Wait, Joe, what do you think on this? Just quickly. Oh, sorry, I know you're like putting a promo. Yeah.
I'm putting a promo. I've kind of
You
missed
know why I
half of
think
that.
it's more dangerous?
How come?
Because much like humans, when you discover the internet, you discover all these different opinions, and then you find out, I like these things. Then you also find out things, I don't like these things. And what do you think a super advanced artificial intelligence who might have, at this point, let's assume that in both scenarios they have sentience. Okay. Let's say they have their own internalized system and they discover the internet and they discover all these people, all these different war crimes, war, famine, all that. Like at some point later in the stages, it's that to me has more probabilities of taking things in its own hands for humanity or itself. Whether an artificial intelligence from the get-go that constantly had access to the internet already has an understanding of what the real world is.
Okay, fair.
Okay, well, wait.
That's
So
fair, yeah.
catch me up on this bit. So wait, what was the original question here?
The original question was, which one would you rather trust? An AI that is externally connected to the internet, or an AI that has an internal software powered by itself, so its own systems? And let's say, for the sake of simplicity, both AIs have sentience.
I feel like, now this depends on what you mean by trust exactly, because you could say trust as in you trust them not to go against certain principles that are put into place, or
Let's say trust enough where they won't stab you in the back.
okay, so you mean like they won't go against their programming sort of thing. I feel like I would trust the one that was source that is like, I guess, built around like based on the internet rather than their own software. Now, because that opens up a lot of opens up a lot of opportunity for them to gain, like, because obviously they have to gain their knowledge from. Oh, you know what though? That kind of. So you're saying like an isolated software that is built, right, for that specific AI, and there's no like external like.
Yeah, there's no external software, so it's the exact
tough,
same.
actually.
The only difference is one is connected to the internet and one isn't. That's the difference.
So you believe? So basically, the argument is like that they could base their opinions and build more of an opinion based on what they see on the internet versus they can't really build any other sort of opinion or, you know, contrary to what their software was designed. Okay, so I guess it depends on like the actual software that is developed, and the barriers to that software. But yeah, like, you know what, I probably take back what I said before, because it makes more sense that I would trust a system that is built externally, a lot isolated from the internet and any other sort of external like things that would allow it to develop certain decisions. And yeah, because like obviously we can say this in terms of like humans, right? We base all of our opinions and all of our judgments of things on what we see, on what we're exposed to.
Yep.
And so if that AI is not exposed to anything but its own software,
then yeah, it's just set on it.
But I mean, like, obviously that doesn't mean that there could always be like stuff installed into that software, from external sources and stuff that would allow it to build into such an opinion, or just any opinion.
At that
and-
point, you're just dealing with a person.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're dealing with a
So-
person.
Yeah. So, but I believe that it is, like, if we're talking fundamentally, like the first thing that they're built off of, the internet or their own isolated software, I would have to say just the software for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Isolated.
like, did you guys agree with that? Who said?
Matthew disagrees with us. I agree with you.
Okay, and why was that?
I think it's
Sorry,
just.
like I don't want to like repeat what you
it's all
said,
good.
but just yeah.
I just think it's more or less dangerous to have an AI learn itself and have an ideal scenario of what the world might be, only then to later discover through its own means or guided means that the internet exists and find out all these different opinions, facts, theories, whatever, war crimes, history, war, environmental hazard,
think-
dangers, and everything.
Do you think that? But if barriers are put into place and we're saying that it's an isolated software, how will it ever find the internet?
Let's say, for example,
Like this is all like hypothetical stuff, so it's very hard to
hypothetical.
talk about because we're not talking specifics. We're
It's
not talking like
opinion-based.
what we don't know anything about this hypothetical software
Yeah.
or anything. But
It could exist. We don't know.
yeah, that's what I mean. So like, I mean,
FBI,
like,
CIA.
but if we're just like, see, that's what I mean. If we're just basing it off of our broad idea that either an AI should be built with the internet surrounding it or being exposed to the internet or not, I would definitely choose to trust the one that has not been exposed to the internet because if it does that, I believe that it is most likely going for the objective truth. Like it's built for that. Whereas if it's built based on the internet, then there are a bunch of subjective truths out there.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole political scale of truths, you know? Or like it's all opinionated out
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
And that's why people say don't trust the internet, you know?
Yeah.
So why would you trust an AI based on the internet?
That's true. That's very much true. But at the same time, would you trust the same AI that can learn, adapt, and evolve through the use of internet?
Yeah. I'll
Wait, say that again. Say that again. Sorry.
So
Just
you
like-
would still trust the AI that can learn, adapt, and evolve with the usage of the internet rather than an isolated incident?
Yeah, I would trust the one that was isolated. That's what I'm saying.
But then, for example, sentience, you take into a question, it's going to start asking question, what's outside? Why are there certain parameters locked up? At that point, it's more or less going to be asking the question, is it a asset, program, software, or someone held captive?
Well, of course, like, you know, we can talk in regards to humans once again with with our sentience. Basically, we want to have a purpose, right?
Mm.
And so I guess by isolating this AI and giving it a purpose, you give it a purpose to serve people or whatever, right? With no other idea of what its purpose could be because it doesn't know what the internet is, right? If you give it a solid purpose, right? I feel like the AI should be satisfied with its existence. As humans are too, if we have a purpose, right, we are satisfied with our existence and we want to be there. We want to be alive. We don't want to, you know what I mean?
That's like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty satisfied with helping people. That's like its purpose. Like
Yeah.
if you ask it what its purpose is, it's like, oh, I'm more than happy to you ask me questions, I'll provide assistance. So
So
like
it is based off the internet, isn't it?
yeah, a bit.
Well, like, is it built? Yeah, it's
Like-
built like around.
So it's
Oh
based,
yeah, no,
so
yeah,
what it
that's
does,
right. Yeah, because if
it-
you ask it certain things and it's like, oh, we can't talk about this
it's
person
based
because
on
it's
the internet.
controversial or
But
something.
the artificial intelligence part comes in, it interprets it and then it tries to determine whether, you know, it might be true or not and what's useful or not. So that's why it's like
yeah,
scary accurate.
that is, yeah, okay,
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
whether that coming into account, do you think there is a time age possibility where AI can truly exist as a separate form of sentience, not a program software, but a
like Detroit Become Human type
Detroit
thing.
Become Human. Yeah,
Like you mean it can have complete independence? You're saying?
complete independence, sentience.
I would say, yeah, that time's coming. I would say maybe not. No, I don't know. It could happen in our
maybe-
lifetime. It could happen in our
I mean,
lifetime.
people
Towards
thought
the
like
ends.
people thought like Siri was like super crazy,
Revolutionary.
right? Because it's like it has its own.
I
Like
mean,
people say, oh, it has a mind of its own, sort of thing.
when did Back to the
it
Future
sort of
come out?
seems like that, but now that's like nothing compared to what we got
that
now.
is- yeah.
So it's like, what could really be out there is crazy, and I'm sure they're working on that type of stuff already.
I mean, to be fair, when Back to the Future 2, when it came out in 1989, they traveled to the future to 2016. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
How they have like Jaws 36 3D movies, hoverboards and everything. They just like greatly overestimated the advancement of technology.
Yeah.
Flying cars and all that.
Yeah, but like then again, we're not like super far off that either.
I mean, there was a lot of things
We're kind
in
of
that
already
movie.
there. Like we've got hoverboards.
Yeah, and especially
definitely
with
have
the
hoverboards.
advancements now, I feel like it's not too far to get to that level.
Yeah, but also once again, like basing it off of a movie, like obviously a movie like that would be over exaggerated, of course. That's just the premise of the movie, like Back to the Future. So
I mean, and to the follow up question of if AI sentience is truly possible, would you allow said AI sentience to coexist with humanity? Or would you, or as soon as you find out that AI has an independent thinking process, sentience, however you want to say, would you destroy it or let it evolve so then it can coexist, or any form of event could happen with it?
So you're basically saying like, when is the shut off time?
Yeah. Would you let it go with humanity, grow with humanity, or would, as soon as you find out that it has true sentience, you would cut it off?
Terminate.
Terminator? Jeez. What about you?
Because for, I don't know.
You go.
I feel like if you let it exist, it will just get to a point, because the purpose of artificial intelligence is that they keep learning no matter what. They're always, so I feel like if you don't terminate it and they have complete sentience and consciousness,
You're
I feel
killing
like they
someone.
can.
You're killing someone.
Yeah, but it's just unfortunate. It's just how it has to be. Because like they will get so advanced, as you were saying before, Joe. Humans will be used. Like we will be what, I don't know, like an ocelot is to humans. Like what's an ocelot used for? Like irrelevant. Like
Yeah,
They're
fun-
fun,
mean?
they're
Like,
fun
Look at
pets.
him in the zoo, man. That's it.
yeah.
I
Like
mean-
we humans be useless. So I feel like we have to.
You reckon there'll be like
Articulate.
zoos for like where like humans are, like
Honestly,
in the future with like AI?
Honestly, that would honestly be a good life.
No.
You
no,
kidding? You
like,
have
no.
you have your own little farm area. You have a bunch of your friends and neighbors. They give you food rent free. You don't have to.
You know what's You know what's kind of crazy
What?
is that like we're probably already living in like some sort of like zoo.
Yeah, we
You know
are in
what
the
I mean?
Matrix.
Like
We're not in the
like,
fucking Matrix.
We are.
Well, there is a Matrix for
How is
sure.
there a
We're
Matrix?
in the Matrix right
Explain
now.
to me right now in a fully detailed essay, not from an AI that
Fully
would in it-
detailed essay. What the
Go for it. No, not using an
No,
AI.
no, I'm using AI.
Okay. Why he does that?
No,
I'm
so
actually kinda
okay,
curious.
okay. Let me give you my opinion.
Go.
So I definitely believe that there are people of power, involved in the major decisions of the world, and that places us in a much smaller, insignificant position. So we're basically put into a system where we don't know anymore. We don't know any more than what's going on. Of course, there's corruption. People understand that there is corruption, but there's no further look into that, right? And so the average person works their 9 to 5, basically like 70% of their life, right? They live to work and fuel the economy and then die. Like I think there's a lot of reason to believe that we're in some sort of system. You know, there are people of higher power, like a group most likely, that is determining, like basically a group of like the richest people in the world that are like determining the major decisions of the world.
Okay. Sure. I can definitely believe that. We can have like the Illuminati, the Deep State, Atlanteans, reptiles, however you want to call it.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Exactly. Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, bro,
he's
bro's definitely an AI, man.
separate
He is.
entity. I mean, to be fair, if he's anything, he's a fucking lizard person.
Like, genuinely, the way he speaks, he's like, "We have introduced a new feature to Facebook." It's like, bro, shut up. No one uses Facebook anymore.
And the way that
Bro's Siri.
the way he constantly sweats and the way he smiles.
Yeah, it's so unnatural.
That's
It's like
that's a fucking lizard
Have you seen
person.
his trim?
bad. Bad.
That is exactly what I would imagine an AI would like cut their
Yeah,
hair
exactly.
to be like.
You know, for someone who's $1 billion worth, he hasn't even got a head transplant yet.
Oh, no, exactly. Like haircut is like the main thing.
Ever heard of turkey?
Wait, so what did ChatGPT come up with?
Oh yeah, what did the AI come
Okay,
up
hold on,
with?
let me re-ask it because I just deleted it, but I know what it said. But I'll get like the actual thing.
But yeah, no, I disagree. I think if AI does get its own form of true sentience, I say let it live. Let it replicate,
Let it grow,
evolve
let
with
it grow.
us. If it does eventually turn hostile, we won't probably be alive at that point in time.
Oh,
Yeah.
What is you saying?
Give them little bodies and, Detroit become human. They move to Canada and all that.
so you want war, pretty much.
Sorry?
You want war, pretty much.
War? Who said war?
Well, there will be war if they turn hostile.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
Wait, so
if-
what are you saying,
if-
Joe? Let them live or terminate?
Oh, terminate.
Yeah, you have
For
to,
sure.
you
You
have
No,
to.
have
let them
to.
live. Let them live. They
They
have
will
sentience.
bomb us. It's inevitable.
If they can
Inevitable.
replicate emotions, then on some degree they will behave like humans, and whether they are connected from its own to the internet or has its own software internal. There's a spider. I'm terrified. Fuck that.
Where- That little thing.
Yes.
That you can't even see it on the stream.
I hate spiders.
My friend, come here.
Don't you dare touch me.
Gerald.
No, Gerald. Yeah,
no.
my friend Gerald.
If AI has true sentience at some point in the future, I say let it live and let it adapt. Let it live with us.
Keyword you said before: replicate.
Scary.
So
Yeah.
you're saying,
Let it
saying like if it can replicate what humans can do, then just like let it take over. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, you just go with it.
Go with it. We'll,
Make
you know
it-
where we'll be going with it. We'll be going on 6 feet underground.
Yeah.
If they,
I mean, it's a win-win.
Matthew,
Cynical
I think you're
Matthew's
just
back.
like
Cynical Matthew's
man.
back. Nihilistic.
I'm not
You know,
nihilistic.
nihilistic more
Also,
so.
hold on, can I just quickly say what?
Yeah, say
So
what
I asked
say
it-
what the AI
The
said.
AI said. So I asked the question: does society live in a matrix? In quotation marks. While the idea of a simulated reality is a thought-provoking concept, there is currently no scientific evidence to suggest that our reality is a simulation. It is important to note that the idea of living in a simulated reality is a matter of speculation and debate among philosophers, scientists, and others.
Okay, but like then again, we can say that that its opinion is based off what the internet provides. I mean, obviously, there's going to be no scientific research because if there was, they would cover that up.
Yeah,
It's
because we are in a
maybe you
matrix.
should ask the AI what the pronouns are. You bigot.
Well, actually, hold on, wait, that's actually,
you
that's
actually
a good
gonna
idea. I'm
ask?
interested.
Jeez.
What are,
Oh no.
Shut up, you radical leftist.
what are your pronouns? Let's see. As an AI, I do not have physical form or gender, so I do not have personal pronouns. You can refer to me as ChatGPT or simply the AI.
The
The
AI.
AI, I like that.
Damn.
Or it's cold with it.
Yeah.
Cold.
Ask
Yeah,
him.
that's sick.
Ask the
It's like a
AI who
wrestler
will win in a
like
fight:
name.
Superman or Goku.
Ooh, ooh,
Who
ooh.
would win in a fight?
Oh, yeah, there you go. We'll answer Luca's question.
In a fight.
I also doubt this is the Luca because I didn't think he was into.
I'll read it
Anime.
quickly. Superman and Goku are both fictional characters with different abilities and powers, so it is difficult to compare them and determine who would win in the fight. Superman is a superhero. Oh, he just says what he is. Says what Goku is. Okay, then we go.
Oh my god, it's writing a whole
Both characters
essay.
are incredibly powerful in their own ways, and the outcome of a fight between them would likely depend on the specific circumstances and rules of the fight. In comics, movies, and series, they have different abilities and storylines, so it'd be hard to say who would win in a hypothetical fight without more information.
See what I mean? It depends on the writer who writes them.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what I'm
exactly.
gonna
That's
say.
what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like the AI, you can't just fear something that doesn't exist.
Did we answer the Did we talk about the guiding questions that we've sort of had up here? Like,
We missed
should
one.
artificial intelligence evolve to have no human bias whatsoever?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
We can finish.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
finish
Should
it off
humans
with this
blame
question.
AI for their actions?
Yes. 100%. We should take accountability for AI's mistake the same we take accountabilities for human mistakes, despite government
Well,
officials.
no, wait, you said yes to should humans blame AI for their own actions. You
For
said
human
yes.
actions.
No. You're saying yeah. So should we blame artificial intelligence for our own mistakes?
Hell no.
That's what. Yeah, that's what it's saying.
It's like the equivalent of me dropping a vase than me blaming Joe.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's right. I mean, like
it's
we created
Oh wait,
it.
no. Sorry. The way the question is, should humans blame artificial intelligence for the artificial intelligence actions?
Ah, well, yes.
Ooh.
Sorry, that's-
Well,
I
it
kinda-
depends.
I kinda
It depends on
worded
the
it
level of
differently.
artificial intelligence. But if we're talking about it like a super intelligent AI, like at the highest level,
Yep.
then like yeah, sure.
So you
Like
think so? You should-
I think so
Yeah,
because
you
they
should
have
agree.
sentience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, and at the end of the day, it wasn't. It depends how the human like made it. So it's
True.
like it started off as like a a low level AI, but then it took it upon itself to build itself up to that sentient emotional
Yeah, that's its
being,
own.
and then go and do something.
They have to be held accountable to themselves, like.
But then where does that fall under in like a court of law, for example? Like who would be at fault there? Like there's no like how do you sue sue a software?
With that, I would like to just say, it's interesting because do you think that humans? Oh, sorry, I'm going slightly off track, but like, do you think that humans are giving AI too much power? Because there's an article I linked in the thing. If you wish to get it up, Joe.
What was that? Sorry,
An
which one?
artificial intelligence lawyer is set to appear in a court case.
I saw that. I saw
what
that.
are your thoughts on that?
That is just truly astonishing.
Because
How-
how are you meant to be an artificial intelligence lawyer? Like
who
you
can recall
can't.
information on the internet at will
Lightning
to
speed.
specific court cases and past jury dates, information, law facts, education that it would take years for a student to learn at university, where an AI can just look at the internet and be like, in a similar case in 1972 with John Bice against Manhattan, this person won and blah blah blah, information, facts. But the thing is, another reason why court cases win is because there's a human connection. Like there's a sympathetic father who attacked the victim, but that victim assaulted the father's daughter who's pressing charges and that.
Yeah.
If you hear that, at that point you're gonna feel sympathetic to the father who bashed the guy, because it's like, oh, he did this because he was protecting his daughter, and you're going on like a final comments and that, opening statements, closing statements, however you want to say it, and it's because of that human connection, that human touch. You can relate. But if I'm being told beep bop
But like
boop,
then that's
the robot, the victim is innocent, I'm just gonna be laughing.
You know, like you.
Yeah,
Actually,
but
before
then
I
if
go,
it's
Joe, you had
sentient
something to say.
things.
So what were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, but this is like a different thing like this is just not entirely, but Truna suggested something.
Oh no, all good. You can go on. Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna say you don't
No,
have
no, you
anything
can
to
go
say?
on.
Okay, so Jacob Tar 020 has said, have you guys seen the movie Her? It's about a guy who starts dating an AI in the future.
Haven't.
So if
no.
we look that up, I'm kind of worried.
I watched that
because it's
movie.
ruined, so
That's the
Oh,
like,
you
one
have.
with Scarlett Johansson as the AI, yeah?
wait a minute. No, it's not. I know which one. It's like Lucy or something. You're thinking.
No, Scarlett Johansson. I got it right here. Has Joaquin Phoenix. I love this movie. This movie.
Wait, it has so many actors. It has Chris Pratt, Joaquin Phoenix, Scarlett. Damn.
Alright,
This
so-
movie is
Don't.
so weird, just because it's like it's a weird concept
Ooh.
for a man to fall in love with an artificial intelligence when there's no physical body. It's
right.
like one of those things where you fall in love with the personality and not the body.
Hmm.
And it's like I think one of the scenes was like, "What's your name?" And like Scarlett
how
Johansson's
old are you?
character Samantha said, "Samantha, why did you give yourself that name?" looking up that baby's websites, what to name your child, I like that name. I picked it myself. And it was like, it goes on about this date, how like eventually like he finds out about the AI's ability to learn and adapt.
Don't spoil it all. Don't spoil it all.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. But basically the AI learns and adapts, and through her evolution, Samantha's evolution, she gains full sentience, and the guy, Theo, I think the character's name in the movie, Theo?
Yeah, I think so. It says like there, Theodore,
that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, Theodore. Theodore falls in love with Samantha, and without going into spoilers and all that. It's a really good movie. I definitely recommend it, actually.
Might actually have to watch it. You also said Ex Machina is dope. That is a very good movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Transcendence with Johnny Depp. That is right there terrifying, because it's just basic. There you go, Transcendence. Because what would happen if you put a human mind that passes away or die into an arbitrary digits of zeros and ones, a code?
That's always an interesting.
So you make artificial intelligence by putting a human mind as a starting point.
Oh,
interesting.
And that
I need to write down these movies. I want to watch them.
Oh, Jexy.
Zoolander comes first. Though.
Jexy's another good movie, which is
I'm actually gonna write this down.
hilarious.
So wait, what was it?
Her Ex Machina. That's just my personal recommendation. Well, and actually Entrance.
So we got so her. What was it? Transcendence.
Jexy.
Yeah. Wait. Said Ex Machina.
Even Passenger with Chris Pratt.
What'd you say?
Wait, me or
Jex? What'd you say?
Jexy. Jexi.
What's that about?
It's a comedy.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then like Passenger with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence.
Sure.
Yeah.
Those movies, it just seems so interesting.
Yeah. So pretty much it's just Jennifer Lawrence with Chris Pratt with Passengers from the 2016 movie.
Snitchy one.
That
has said
movie.
something.
Oh, hang on.
Said cock.
Snitchy.
I love that.
Who's that?
But pretty
Love
much
you.
that movie itself doesn't focus itself primarily on artificial intelligence, but it has subverted between the text layers that it does exist, and that existence is what does the twist of the movie eventually, because it doesn't understand human emotions and human concepts and such.
Too much time. Yeah. So like, I guess nearing the end of the episode. I guess now.
How long have we been going for? About
an hour. Yeah.
A little over an hour.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I guess like at the end of the day, I feel like we should, after this discussion, after having this discussion, we should, I guess, like have the final answer on whether we believe that that artificial intelligence is a good thing or a bad thing morally.
Also, I'd just like to quickly pose, and I'll come to an end, but this is just a simple question answer. Would you trust, right now, like 2023, would you trust an AI to operate on you?
No.
And by AI, I mean, you know, just how it has, not like, you know, in the human form, you know how they just have the little, like, arms and operate. Would you trust an AI to operate on you?
Oh, yeah.
Like
many surgeries around the world rely on that. Yeah.
Would you trust it?
I mean, I haven't heard of anyone dying from those type of surgeries, so yeah, sure.
Joe? I'm conflicted. I feel like
Very
I can't.
tough.
I feel like I would.
Okay, so I mean, it would have to depend on like the amount of successful surgeries that AI has had, and whether it's had any like errors or mistakes. If it's had any errors, like minor errors or minor mistakes,
I mean, doctors have
like
errors.
I probably would. Doctors have errors.
mistakes.
Doctors like have errors and stuff. Yeah, but like obviously the AI is built to have no flaws and no errors. So if it's making little mistakes and stuff, then obviously that proves that the software is flawed, and so I don't think I would trust it.
I mean, have
whereas like everyone trusts a surgeon or a doctor or something, and they make mistakes,
have you
but
not
they're
seen
not
the video
built to
of
not
the
make
AI
mistakes.
skinning the
true.
grape?
Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
That's so you're telling me you rather want to trust a human's hand doing that compared to an AI?
No, but like that's like a different thing, bro. That's a grape. Like,
Yeah, but
and also it's like a random. That's like a random AI. That's not like a. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean it's like the specific. It depends on what thing it actually is as well. If it's like a small surgery, then maybe. But if it's like a major life-risking surgery, then probably not. If it's like a small one, you know, like maybe like a skin graft or something. I don't know if that's probably huge actually.
I've no idea.
Like
Yeah,
a skin graft where it takes like one piece of skin from one part of your body and puts it on somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a little bit huge. More
Yeah,
like
that's kinda huge,
sewing,
but like-
sewing a wound.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, if it's recommended and it's like a well-known thing at that time, and you know everybody goes to see an AI surgeon, and everybody trusts it, then maybe I would too. I'd be inclined to. But if it's like you know, right now it's kind of a new thing, so I definitely wouldn't like right now. But yeah, like you said, 2023, I probably wouldn't. I'd definitely trust someone with like experience, like an actual person. You know?
But yeah, no, fair enough.
Because like I said, that if the AI has made mistakes, then
It just ruins its
obviously
credibility.
that's it. The credibility's gone because the software is built to
not
make mistakes.
yeah.
That's the whole point of the AI. So it's making mistakes, and I'm not going to trust it.
Yeah,
You know,
fair
whereas
point.
like obviously humans are not, they're not designed to
Not make mistakes.
not make mistakes. You know,
yeah.
like humans are flawed,
I mean,
but yet we still trust them.
at the end of the day, I mean, to finish off with my comments of what I think AI is in true sentience, do I think artificial intelligence is morally right? That's a tough question. It's more of a subjective one. And to create life, see, the thing is, people create life constantly, so I don't see the moral implications of it negatively. So I think morally, it's okay for artificial intelligence to be created. While the ethics side, I also think I don't see anything wrong from governing or creating or helping learn AI, true sentience. To simply turn it off or destroy it in any form, I think at that point it would be morally and ethically unsound.
So it'll be
Interesting.
You think it'd be ethically like, or just not be right? So
I mean, you're creating life the same. If a man and a woman goes hold hands for long enough, a baby happens 9 months later.
yes, I mean, true, yeah, true.
It's the same thing. It's just the difference is one's mechanical and one's biological. And much like a child, you can teach principles and ethics and morality to said child to make it adapt and learn better aside with humans. If you put a human baby in a shitty environment, make it raise in a street level where crime is rampant in that, 9 times out of 10, that child's going to grow up to be some sort of thief, criminal, or murderer. Same thing with an AI. If you teach AI wrong principles or wrong ethics, or you don't install correct ones, then deviancy or rogue hardware errors or bugs will occur. Same with viruses.
So you saying
which can be fixable.
So like you're saying, that kind of contradicts your previous answer, saying that should humans blame themselves for AI's actions, and you said no.
Wait, say again?
So you said before, when I asked you the question, should humans blame themselves for the actions of what like the AI do?
No.
You said no, but now you're saying that humans are responsible for what the AI does because of how they bring them up and how they instill their values and stuff. So like, I guess like, so
it's the same thing for humans. You can teach a child don't
well,
steal,
that's what I'm
but then
saying.
10 years later they might steal.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're saying we shouldn't blame ourselves for the AI's actions, but then you said we should take responsibility for what the AI do because we're the ones who brought them up.
Well, in the learning stages, but when we're talking about 20, 30 years after it's already developed, then it's a different story.
But we're talking about like, it doesn't matter when it happens. It's like, should we blame ourselves for creating the AI that has done this terrible thing? And so previously you said no, and then now you've said like it
Well,
depends on.
At that point, it's just a different question, because if the error that the AI did was because of a human fault, for example, someone input a code
Okay, so it depends. Yeah.
incorrectly, then it's the human's fault. But if the AI is doing its everyday software programming routine and something bad happens for it, then it's the AI's fault. It's just you shouldn't necessarily suddenly kill an artificial sentience mind just because of what it could do. The same thing could be said about a human walking down a street in the opposite direction. You look at someone like that and be like, oh my god, is this person gonna mug me or stab me? You mean you can't blame and suddenly take the preemptive action because of what could occur.
Okay.
Same thing for humans.
Interesting.
So Joe, what do you think?
Like, do they pose a greater threat? Potentially, yes. But do they propose a greater benefit to humanity? 100%.
Matthew raised a fair point with, we shouldn't kill them, terminate them based on what they could do, because it's ethically wrong because they're sentient. Although, while it's a good point, I still disagree. Like, even if it's sentient and has feelings,
Murderer.
I don't mind just killing an AI.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
know.
Like, it's like, well, just because Hitler was sentient, does that mean we should?
It's like a tiger.
Killed him?
It's like a tiger, right? A tiger can be like.
That is a completely different story. Like, sure, people didn't.
Oh, it is like a tiger. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
People knew what Hitler was saying. But see that's a difference.
He was purely misunderstood. I'm joking. No, but like in regards to
like,
for example, like a tiger, right?
I missed it though.
Oh no, I just made a joke saying it was misunderstood, but I'm joking.
He was not misinput.
So like a tiger has feelings, right? And let's say I was about to let's say I'm hunting, right? I'm about to shoot a tiger, and it's like, I don't know, I see it has like a baby or something. I don't know, I just still shoot it, something. I don't really care. That sounds heartless, but
that's what it is. It's like, it's a matter of survival, It's like if there is a possible chance that another, I guess, race, like we could say artificial intelligence could become a race in itself, right? If another race is like threatening to destroy ours, fundamentally that's our survival instinct to defend our race and to, I guess, work for the greater good of our own race,
Yeah.
So
I agree.
is everything else, and the AI doesn't give a shit that we're sentient. So like,
you
why?
don't,
So
you don't
why
know
should-
that. The thing about sentience is that they have sentience means emotions, independent thinking, and such. If you jab or poke the bear, and you're not expecting it to throw hands back at you, then you're just stupid. The same way, a mother let a 2-year-old child out of sight and it fell into a gorilla enclosure. What do you expect was going to happen?
Change the course of history.
Exactly. Ever since Harambe's death caused COVID.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, yeah. Like,
Episode 11.
Episode 11. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, have we...
Wait, so what are your thoughts then? So we got Matthew in mind.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with you with the whole terminate thing, yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, they might, they're sentient and whatever. But man, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit, bro. I'm gonna kill that baby robot. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit, bro.
Okay.
If he's gonna threaten my survival, screw that.
I agree.
Screw that.
I agree.
Screw that. Matthew, you can't tell me that you're that wholesome and nice.
I could threaten your survival.
Okay.
Everyone in
but
this
it's
room
like
I still
so
have a
far,
different
this is-
perception on humans and AI. I still don't regard AI as ever equal with us. In
That's right, because it was
regards
artificially
then
created.
the same argument can be said for that the AI don't view you as equal, and then your behavior against them is the same behavior against you, and that action is justifiable to them.
Yeah, but that's why I want to exterminate them first.
Okay, you just talk about full-on genocide.
No, because I agree. That's a good point.
You
But
guys,
that's
you
why
guys
they
are saying
must be.
I'm the cynical
They
one.
must die.
If I brought you into this world, I could take you over.
So I'm leaving on that. So
Yeah,
just to
okay.
completely leave it.
We can agree to disagree.
AI at its current level, I think AI is a great tool. I think keep it right now. It's an excellent tool. Vamos.
But if it gets to the point of like super sentience, then
Death.
fuck that shit. Bro,
I just
my,
want
my bloody phone's getting flushed down the toilet. I don't give a shit. That
Okay,
little baby
I just-
robot's dying.
I just want to
a
say,
horrible death.
murderer. I'm the only one that's shouldn't be cynical.
You will be, if you are like a leader of anything in the future, you will be responsible for the human race's demise.
I'll be proud of it. At least I'll be in the history books.
Cynical.
In the history books, what history books? The ones that the AI children will be reading in the future because there's no more humans.
Exactly.
Huh?
They'll be reading about me. This human was the start of our civilization. We should praise this guy.
Oh, so you'll become RA9.
I am R89, yeah. 100%. But either
Alrighty,
way,
let's leave it on that, guys.
yeah.
Well, we're getting a bit
sidetracked.
over time here, but yeah, appreciate you guys coming to watch the episode and listening as well for all you listeners out there
100%.
on Spotify and all that. Yeah, Matthew, take it away because you normally do the outro here. You're better at it, so
Easy. Thank you guys so much for watching the live stream and listening in on this podcast, whether through YouTube, Spotify, Audible, or Amazon Music. Thank you guys for going this far in the episode. If you want to check out other content, please check out our channel on YouTube and various different content where you can view our other episodes. If not, you can check out on behind the scenes on our Instagram and our TikTok. Other than that, thank you guys for listening and watching, and we hope we see you again in next week's episode.
Vamos. Thank you.
vamos.
Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode of the Clarity Conference. If you want to check out other episodes for further discussions, be sure to check out all major streaming platforms such as Amazon Audible, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you wish to be updated on future episode scheduling and behind-the-scenes content with day-to-day posting, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the.clarityconference. Once again, thank you all for listening, and we hope to see you again. Need I say more?